Hi guys, myself Sachin. I'm from SVC Bangalore 6M ISC. So the topic is the software development life cycle. Now let's see about table of contents. The first one is overview of SDLC. The next one is what is software engineer SDLC. Next one is software development life cycle phases. Next we'll see about planning and analysis. Next is design. Next we'll see implementation, testing and integration. Next one is deployment. Next maintenance. And the next point is software development lifecycle models. We'll see about waterfall model and finally the conclusion. Now let's see about overview of SDLC. The software development lifecycle is a framework that provides a structure for understanding the phases of the software development process. The SDLC defines the major stages in the software development process and provide a detailed description of each stage. The SDLC is also known as the software development process or the software lifecycle. Now let's see about what a software engineer SDLC. The software development lifecycle is an systematic process used by software engineers to design and develop and maintain high quality software application. It outlines a structured approach ensuring efficient delivery and meeting client expectations. The SDLC encompasses various stages, each playing a crucial role in the software development journey. From requirement gathering and analysis to testing and deployment, each phases contribute to the overall success of the project. The software development cycle consists of 6 stages. The first one is planning, analysis, design, implementation, testing and debugging, and finally maintenance. Now let's see about software development lifecycle phases. The software development lifecycle phases typically consist of the following 6 phases. The first one is planning and analysis, next one is design, next is implementation, the fourth one is testing and integration, fifth one is deployment, and finally maintenance. Now we'll see about planning and analysis. The planning and analysis phase of the software development lifecycle is important because it sets the foundation for the project. In this phase, the project team develops a clear understanding of the problem that needs to be solved and defines the goal and objective for the project. The team also identifies the stakeholders who will be affected by the project and identifies the resource that will be required. This information is used to develop a project plan that includes a schedule and next budget. Once the project plan is approved, the team moves on to the next phase of the SDLC. Now we'll see about design phase. The design phase in SDLC is when the system requirements are translated into a blueprint for the proposed software solution. The design must take into account both functional and non-functional requirements as well as any applicable constraints. Once the design is completed, it will be reviewed and approved by the relevant stakeholders. Now we'll see about implementation. Once the software development team has finalized the design of the new system, they can begin coding the system. This is often referred to as the implementation phase. The implementation phase is when the team writes the actual code that make up the new system. This can be a time-consuming process as the team needs to ensure that all the code is accurate and bug-free. Once the code has been written, it needs to be tested to make sure that it works as intended. Now let's see about testing and integration. The software testing and integration phase is a crucial part of the software development lifecycle. This is the phase where new code is integrated into the existing code base and tested for functionalities and performance. The goal of this phase is to ensure that the new code works as expected and does not introduce any new bugs or performance issues. To achieve this, various test cases are designed and executed against the new code. Once all the test cases have been passed, the code is then ready for deployment. Now let's see about deployment. The deployment phase in the software development lifecycle is the process of putting a new software or application into production. This usually happens in stages, first with a small group of users, then with a larger group, until finally the system is made available to everyone who needs to use it. During the deployment phase, there are a number of important tasks that need to be completed, such as testing the system to make sure that it works as expected, setting up security and user permission, and creating documentation and training materials. Once the system is up and running, it will need to be monitored and maintained on an ongoing basis. Now let's see about maintenance. The maintenance phase in the software development lifecycle is important for ensuring that the software continues to function as intended and that any defects are corrected in a timely manner. This phase typically begins after the software has been deployed and can last for years. Depending on the size and complexity of the software, in order to effectively manage the maintenance phase, it is essential to have a clear understanding of the features and functionalities of the software, as well as how it is being used by the users. Now we'll see about software development lifecycle models. There are a number of different models or methodologies that can be used to guide the software development process. The most common models are the waterfall model, the spiral model, the agile model, the lean model, the iterative model, and finally the V model. Now we'll see about waterfall model. Waterfall model starts with requirement analysis, then goes to system design, then to implementation, then to testing, then to deployment, and finally maintenance. Now we'll see about conclusion and key takeaways. The software development lifecycle is a crucial framework for software engineers, providing a structured and disciplined approach to develop and maintaining software application. From understanding the different models like waterfall model and the agile to implement continuous integration and deployment. A strong understanding of the SDLC principles ensures high quality software delivery that meets the user needs and expectation. Remember to choose the right methodology for your project, prioritize communication and collaborate with stakeholders, and constantly seek opportunities for improvement through regular reviews and retrospective. Thank you guys. We'll see you in next session.